and welcome to the Peak and First podcast. My name is Josh, and I get the absolute pleasure of serving as the online ministries director here at Peak and First. I'm going to play with some of these toys because we got them, right?
Hey everyone, my name is Sean. I am the pastor here at Peak and First. Cheers for me as well, please. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Got the groove.
Love it.
All right. This is the Peak and First podcast. This is episode
I was not prepared for this at all. I was not warned. Nothing was said.
That's right. Got to caught you off guard. And I actually hit the wrong button because this is the button I was supposed to hit. Right? Yeah. So I'll get used to it. So we are back in the studio this week. This is episode 44, and it's why I did not get blessed with ... Right? We're going to start this week's podcast off the way we usually do, and that's this week's personal best. This is something good that's happened in our personal lives this week. I do this for a meeting for work. It's called an L10, and it just kind of sets everything off in a different tone. So, Sean, I'll let you go first.
All right, so I've had several good things happen this week, but the one that I was thinking about, since we talked about golf last week, Sandra and I played on Monday at Sunset Hills, which we've never played at before, and we had a really good time and met some really fun people. I had an opportunity to talk to a couple of guys over there who are working at the golf course right now. And just had some good conversation, and we had a nice day. It was a beautiful day out, and didn't play great, but we had a good time and enjoyed the day. So
Yes. Shout out to Sunset Hills. They do a great job with golf and food, and Andrea over there is fantastic. Okay, my personal best this week. I'm got to watch my daughter play volleyball for the first time on Saturday.
Nice.
So we went up to, and if you've never been there, it's an kind of an awe-inspiring sight, and that is the Louisville Slugger Dome up in Peoria. It's up in North Peoria. And they converted some of the baseball field to volleyball courts, and they had a volleyball tournament up there, and I got to watch her play for the first time. So that was exciting. She loves it. She has recently switched from cheer to volleyball.
Okay.
So, and she's really good at it. So
natural transition there.
I'm like, don't you want to just keep some of cheer just in case? Nope, I'm
Yeah.
going for it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know what? I'm not going to argue.
Right. My son went from video games to football. So, it happens with kids. You just never know. You never know.
That's right. All right. This is episode 44, Why I Did Not Get Blessed With. And this is all about, especially like for me this week, this week has been a dumpster fire for me. It always could have been worse. Some challenging things have come up. And do you ever just look at someone and say, man, I wish I had ... right? And we all wish we've had the blessing of something more, you know what? I wish I had the blessing of song, of instrument. That is like, I would love to express myself like that. I don't. I can't carry a tune from here to 2 feet in front of me, right? It's apparently too heavy for me. So I can't carry a tune. You come across rough times, especially lately, where a lot of people wish they had more money, or wish they were better looking or skinnier or bigger, or, I've struggled with weight for years. I always wish I was skinnier, but that's just not the way God made me, right? And in Matthew Chapter 7, 7 and 8, as part of the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock on the door and it will be open to you." A lot of people translate this as, well, if I pray for it, I will get it.
Right.
And which is not true. God will bless us with things based on his timeline.
Yeah. I think the key to the statement that Jesus makes is there's another passage very similar in one of the other Gospels where he says, "Whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive it and you shall have it." And a lot of people use that the same way, like, okay, I definitely need this Porsche, and so I'm going to pray and ask God, and he's going to give me a Porsche. And it didn't happen. So, well, must not be true. God, God isn't real. that's just kind of foolishness, honestly, to think that that's what God's talking about or what Jesus is talking about. He's talking about, in the context of the Sermon on the Mount, he's talking about whatever you do in my name. He says, in my name, what my will is for you. If you ask anything in my name, in the will of God in your life, God's going to bring that to pass. And he also says, he reminds us in the Lord's Prayer to pray for our needs for today. To give us today what we need. The big things that we long for, maybe you will get blessed, and maybe you will receive some of those things, and maybe you won't. But ultimately, what you will get is what you need for today to make it through, and whatever God desires for you within His will in that moment. And those are the things that we're called to pray about. Lord, help me to long for and to receive your blessing for me for today, for my life for today. Not what somebody else has, not even what I really would like to have, but what your will is for me, what my needs are for today.
And the key word there is needs.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not your wants, it's your needs.
Right.
It's the same. I tell it's the same vocabulary I tell my kids is when they say, well, I can't do that. No, you don't want to do this.
Right. But language is important in the way we talk about things. And I mean, just a few weeks ago, we talked about covetousness in the 10 Commandments. The 10th commandment, you shall not covet. What does that mean? It means exactly what we're talking about right now. You're not to want what other people have, because God has blessed you in many ways, and there's people that are looking at you wishing that they had what you have. When we put it in context in the greater grand scheme of things, we're so rich, each and every one of us here in America. If you're listening to this and you're in America right now, you are rich, and you're like, no, I'm not. I'm poor. No, you're rich compared to the rest of the world. We are so blessed.
Absolutely. And so one of the other things that I made note on this is, number one, when is enough?
Right.
And that's what God does know. Yeah. God does know that what you can handle, and in all situations, to be quite frank, God knows when you've had enough. Right. Stress, enough money, enough, whatever
pizza.
That is, a pizza. That's right. You know what? Yeah. And God will guide you when you've had enough.
Yeah.
The other thing that brought this to me that was in my head as I was going through all this is, while we're wanting what someone else has, and by the way, what someone else has, if somebody has a lot of money, the kind of sidebar here, when somebody has money or somebody has fame or somebody has vanity, there's a whole different set of stresses or a set of problems that come with all of that.
Yeah.
And maybe God knows that you're not ready to handle that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great point, is that we don't know. Well, we don't know what God knows about us in that moment. We think we know, but we don't know. And the other word that pops into my head too along these lines is that little word contentment. We're called to be people of contentment, to rest in and be satisfied in what it is that we have been given. And it's hard to do. It really is hard to do. But the scriptures give us pictures of this all the time. Paul says, I have learned to be content in all things, whether I have plenty or whether I have nothing at all. I've learned to be content. And then he ends that by saying, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. So the contentment comes by understanding and knowing that Jesus Christ is with us, that God is guiding us and directing us by the Holy Spirit, and that we can't go wrong in that, regardless of what the world says about what we're supposed to have or conditions us to believe we're supposed to have. Resting in the knowledge of our blessedness in Christ is enough for us.
Right. Yes. So the other part of that was, while we're wanting what someone else has, are we wasting the gifts that we have?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So while we're busy wanting money, or are we so busy wanting it that we're not using the money that we have to bless others, or to bless others? I don't know what other, or the gift of voice.
Yeah.
So I love doing this. I love online ministries. I love doing podcasts, and I love speaking, and I'm not that good at it, to be quite frank. It takes a lot of thinking for me to do this. And God said to me indirectly, but God said to me, give me your faith. Have faith in me, and I will give you a voice. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. And he has made it possible. He didn't make it easy, and that's okay, but he made it possible. Right. And that is, I love to inspire people. I love to speak. And he said, give me your faith, and I will give you a voice.
Right.
And so that's what using your gifts while not too busy wanting other things.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, you could spend all your time looking at other speakers and people that you admire who are really good communicators and say, boy, I wish I could be like that. Oh, well, I guess I'm just not going to be able to do that. Instead of saying, God has called me to do this. And even though it's difficult, it's going to be difficult for everyone. Anyone who's really good at anything has worked really, really hard to get there. Nothing comes easy for folks. And so, yeah, absolutely right. Instead of spending all of our time coveting what somebody else has, look inside and say, what is it that God has given me? And let me just go ahead and work towards leveraging that for the best of my ability and for God's glory in this world.
And while knowing what our gifts are, mine is technology or sound and management, but that's a whole different set of skills. Know your worth, and I didn't have this in our show notes, and because it's a recent development of mine. And know your worth, because your worth as far as the gifts that I have. What can I do with those gifts? Yep. Because you have them, whether you think you do or not. We all get into those funks of, I don't have anything to offer, number one. Number two, all I do is seem to bother people, right? I go through those. I know everybody does. We may not admit to it. And some people are just confident enough not to go through that as often. Self-confidence is a key to knowing what your self-worth is. Yeah. And so very often I don't have confidence in myself. And those are the times I have to lean on God and say, give me the self-confidence that I need to inspire people, to get behind that mic, to know my self-worth, to text this person and say, hey, what about this, this, and this, and not feel like I'm bothering them. Or when they get that text, we've all seen that person that gets that text and rolls their eyes, right? I feel like every person I text, that's what they're doing. And especially this week. And I don't know why. Nothing has happened to make me think that. It is a mindset. And I'm going to tell you what I did today. Today I had to do a lot of driving, and I was going down 74, and I haven't done this in maybe not a really long time, but I haven't done it in a long time. I started praying out loud and just thanking God for the blessings that he had given me, and the love that he's given me, and just everything in my life that makes life worth living, because I needed that extra self-worth.
Yeah.
Right. I needed that today.
Self-worth is huge. We could do an entire podcast on that, but let me just say one thing about it. I think the first murder in the Bible is Cain and Abel. And if you think about that story, the problem with Cain was he felt worth less. He felt like he was worth less than what Abel was worth. They were both worth the same in God's sight. God didn't disapprove of Cain's offering any more than he approved of Abel's. Cain just felt worthless, and he felt like his brother had more than he had, and he coveted what his brother had, and that led to violence. And we see that over, and I think self-worth is a foundational problem that we're dealing with in our society right now. Too many people just don't feel like they have any value or any worth or any security or any significance. And once we can get to the point where we recognize that our worth is found in Jesus Christ, not in anything we ever do or anything anybody ever thinks about us, when we get to that point, boy, that changes everything, because our worth is not in what the world says about worth. It's found in Christ.
Wow. That's something to hold on to. And that was honestly part of my prayer today was, lead me. I have faith in you. Help me keep a calm heart, a calm soul, so that I can follow you and not react. Not react and go off of the path that you've put me on because I'm overreacting. Keep me calm so that I can follow you.
Yeah, and you know, how easy is that, really? I mean, it feels like, people are listening going, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say. Just talk, just talk to God like you are talking to your best friend, like we're talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to God. It's so easy, and it changes everything. It changes your mindset. It changes your attitude. It changes the perspective that you have on the world for that day. It is so amazing to think about how prayer and just a repositioning of our thought patterns on what's happening in the world around me to what is God saying to me right now? Is God present with me in this vehicle right now? Of course God is. And God wants us to know that we're loved, that we're secure, that we're significant, that our life is worthwhile and valuable. And it changes our thinking, and it changes our attitude, it changes our day.
And every time, so I there's 2 times this week I've had to just kind of stop and pray, and that was one of them. And the other one was I was getting dressed, getting ready for the day, and man, I just didn't feel like I could make it through the day just because of my aggravation level or my anxiety level or whatever it was, my frustration level. That's a better word for it. My frustration level with the way the week has went. And I just had to stop, and I kneeled at the foot of the bed, and I just prayed. And and it was a silent prayer, but you can feel the weight when you trust God and you say, God, I trust you, and you mean it, and you like nothing you've ever trusted in your life. And you say, God, I trust you. You can feel, I can feel it now.
Literally.
I can feel the weight coming off of me. I was sitting in that car today, or that truck today, and I'm praying, and I'm praying out loud, and man, I can just feel the stress and the frustration lifting off of my heart. And nobody knows I feel stupid. Well, why? People talk to their cars all the time, ladies and gentlemen. People talk to nobody knows if you're talking, to your brother, your cousin, your friend. They don't know.
Right.
And it's okay.
Right. If you have to hold your cell phone up while you're doing it, just do that. Put it to your ear.
That's illegal. No.
Okay.
It's not illegal in Florida, but it is illegal now.
All right.
Yeah.
But put something in your ear to make it look like, you're talking, whatever it takes, whatever it takes.
Taking a walk and you want to say a prayer, put that AirPod in, and nobody will ever know the difference.
Yeah. There's a lot of contemporary Christian music out right now, worship music out right now that talks about chain breaking and chains falling off. And when you talked about that weight that's lifted off, that's what it is. I mean, that chain breaker song is such a powerful song. If you got chains, he's a chain breaker. If you got pain, he's a pain taker. That it's true. God will give you there will literally be a physical lifting of a burden off of one's shoulders if you just simply give it over to God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. There is just so much going on in and around Pekin First. You can visit our website at pekinfirst.org and see all the cool things going on. Or we are doing a Monday update. Don't forget, by the way, I always forget on this podcast. I remember on the Monday update, but I always forget. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast, because the more people we have subscribed to this podcast and like and share this podcast, the more we can inspire those around us.
Yes.
But you can also catch the Monday update that happens every Monday morning And it's just kind of an update of things going on in the community, in the church, just activities that you can get involved in. So catch that as well. I do want to say one thing, and I have turmoiled with this or fought this for a week now. And it's ever since I caught the video of it. So I'm going to end like this. So no matter what your side of the aisle, no matter what your political belief is, and Sean, you have always said it best, is my job as a pastor is to bring you closer to Christ, not closer to a party, right? And I have huge respect for that, because we are all different, but we can all love each other, period. Yep. With the whole thing with Charlie Kirk, minus the political grandstanding, minus all the speeches, minus all that stuff, do you know what warmed my heart? And that is 100,000 people in a stadium worshiping God and millions online, period. End of story. That to me was huge. No matter the event, it was an unfortunate event, but no matter the event, no matter what your feeling is, no matter what, if you liked him, if you hated him, you thought he was the devil, you thought he was a god, whatever, there was 100,000 people worshiping God.
Right. God gets the glory through
God gets the glory, period. And if you think he was the devil, then guess what? The devil made 100,000 people worship God. So that's all I want to say about that. I don't know if you have any comments to add to that.
I do not want to add anything to that. That's good. That's good.
All right. So remember to catch us every week right here on the Pekin First podcast and Monday on the Monday Update. We thank you for joining this week. And remember, God put us here to do great things. So let's go do great things.